Here we go.
I'm trying to be a parent, but I gotta run an errand. I promise when I'm back, I'm gonna
Classic.
feed my kid a carrot. Damn, this stuff is tough, man. I thought it was inherent. I'm trying to be a parent. I'm trying to be a parent. Sometimes you gotta drink, cause that shit can be kinda stressful. Sometimes you hit the blunt, cause that green will help you rest, yo. You know your ass be slacking when you gotta look up things on YouTube. Like, bro, how you wipe your baby boo-boo? Now welcome to the podcast. Trying to parent and make moms laugh. Who you know got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean, it's the name G. Yeah. Now welcome to the podcast. Trying to parent and make pops laugh. Who you know got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean, it's the name G. Yeah.
Yep. We back.
What up?
Welcome. Episode number 16. Say it for him in Spanish.
16.
16. I am drinking this fabulous Dr. Pepper cream soda and 0 calories. You know, got a sweet tooth, but this hits the spot.
0 calories or 0 sugar?
0 sugar. It also looks like it has 0 calories. So that's cool.
Nice.
I'm going to start pounding these. Probably got cancer in them, but, you know.
Aspartame or something.
Anyways.
I picked this drink up at the grocery store.
What is that? Show your camera.
I'm not really sure what it is, but it's like a mineral water, carbonated mineral water. It tastes just like orange juice, and it also has 0 calories.
That would be fantastic for
It's really good.
champagne to mix with, but I don't think they have champagne out
Your
here.
mom's bringing 2 bottles.
Surprise, surprise. I'm not surprised. Anyways, y'all, welcome back to the show. Welcome to the show.
We finally are where the show commences.
We are shooting this on video, trace cameras. So get ready to tune into the YouTube, because I know you guys are probably like, I checked out their YouTube, and it's fucking lame. Because there's like 3 videos on there, and then some audios, not audio books, just bullshit podcasts. So this should be a lot better because we've got the setup. It's almost there. You'll see some pictures of it on the Instagram and whatnot, but took me a little while. Put this little shindig together here. You like how I painted these lovely... Just look at this color scheme we got going on here.
It's so nice.
It's very Mexico.
Yes.
And that's what we are.
We did not do pink and blue on purpose for like boy and girl baby. This was not that. I just like looked at it and was like, oh, it's pink and blue.
Yeah, we fucked with these colors before we had kids. I mean, you could see them in the logo, in our stuff. Similar pink, blue styles. I would say this is more coral and...
Turquoise.
Turquoise. You would call that turquoise?
What would you call it?
Don't know. Not great with colors. What color is seafoam green? I think you're probably a split between seafoam green and turquoise, but we
this
also...
is more like seafoam blue.
Yeah, true. We always disagree on what color things are.
Yes.
I think you're an idiot, to be honest with you guys. I mean, her color, I don't know. It's got to be your eyes. Maybe because I have...
The only thing was the orange-yellow debate.
We disagree on a lot of things, color-wise. But you usually defer to me because I am the master of disguise. I'm going to be the master of disguise. You guys would know that if you were cool. Yeah, it's from a movie, which you wouldn't know because you're an asshole who doesn't watch movies. Anyways.
Master of disguise. Okay.
I'm going to be a master of disguise. Do you want to jump into the...
Let's get
social
with social media.
All right. Facebook and Instagram at trying the number 2 parent. And our YouTube, trying space the number 2 space parent.
Very important.
Yep.
I think.
And then our Gmail, if for whatever reason you want to send us an email, trying to parent podcast at gmail.com.
If you just want to send us an email. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Just emailing you. What's up? Haven't checked the email in a
Maybe
while.
you're
They're
at work and you're just already on your email.
Yeah, you're like, wow, shoot these assholes an email. Hey, what's up, guys? And then what else we got? Oh, yeah. the places to find the podcast.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Everywhere podcasts are found, please give us a nice rating. Drop a comment if you'd like to. We're trying to get this thing going on, so any positive help would be appreciated. Thank you very much.
Let's get it on and popping. Okay, so it is
Now that we're filming, I have
Sunday. Yeah, look at your camera. Look at my camera. Sunday. I almost said December 5th. It is February. It's March 5th.
March 5th.
March 5th.
Happy birthday, Dad.
March 5th. Happy birthday to
Papa
Mr.
Bear.
Papa Bear Phillips. Happy birthday. Your brother's birthday.
It's not Papa Bear Phillips.
What did I say, Phillips? It's not
I
Phillips.
don't know.
Your old name is Phillips. Because he always say Team Phillips.
Oh, that's true. He does
Got me
always
fucked
say
up.
that.
Both of your brother's birthdays are on
And Grandma.
Tuesday, which is weird. Her brothers are how many years apart?
3.
3 years apart, born on the same day.
And my grandma.
And your grandma. What are the fucking chances?
They all have the same birthday.
And me, I was born on March 13th.
Yes.
Friday the 13th. So, pretty big deal, whoever you ask. A lot of people born in March. A lot.
Yeah.
My Uncle Tommy, my Uncle Joel.
Yep.
Joel's birthday's on the 9th.
Yep.
Just a bunch of people. A lot of important people.
A lot of amazing people.
A lot of the men in your life, which is pretty interesting. When's your birthday? Don't care. Not yours. I already know what yours is. August 30th, 1974. Anyways.
74, that would make me
Old.
30, 40, 50,
Pretty old.
49.
Sounds about right.
Or something like that. I don't know. Math
Math.
is hard.
Math.
I'm more of a calculator gal myself.
So we've been in our place now for basically
A week and 2 days.
In 2 days, I guess did we start sleeping here last Friday? I think so.
I think it was.
Was it that day or was it the next day?
Or was it the next
Was it
day?
Saturday? Might have been Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Either way, we've been in our place about a week now, getting some shit done. It's starting to look real good, as you guys can see from
His office.
the podcast.
Well,
So
this is his office / podcast room.
yes. Because before, we would have to we kind of had a podcast place set up at certain points. And we would just have to break it down and stuff because we were doing multiple things with those areas. And now Amanda has her office / our guest room. We have our room. And then we have my office / podcast room. So it all works out. Yeah, we've got a pretty big week coming up as far as things that are going on. Last night, though, we actually went to meet up with some friends that we drove down here with, met some
Yeah.
of their friends, had dinner.
At a really nice.
Yeah, like a cool, chill Italian
Italian.
restaurant.
We sat outside.
We had, what do we have, Tom?
We had 2 different kinds of pizza. We had
Dose.
some sangria.
2 classes.
Yeah. Not eat. Well,
2 glasses total.
yeah. And then there was like 3 beers.
3 beers.
And with a 20% tip, I think it was $50.
Pretty crazy.
And the pizza, I just had some right before this. So there was a significant amount. It was
It was a good sized
Yeah,
pizza.
but there was thin crust. Your pizza was better than mine, but
My pizza was better than yours, but not surprised.
I know you pick
Who has better taste?
the good food.
Pick the white sauce, which, hey, I can't blame you. I go with white sauces sometimes. I think you've had enough white sauce, though. So, yeah, that was fun. And then we went after that
Back.
over to their place to check out the place that they bought because they purchased down here.
Yep. And we watched the fights.
The fights. If you're not sure what we're talking about, UFC fights.
Johnny Bones Jones was
The
back,
man is
baby.
back. The champ is back. The champ is here. Anyways, yeah, it was for the heavyweight belt. And spoiler alert, if you haven't already seen it all over social media, he beat Cyril Gahn
Submission.
real quick. 2 minutes, I think. So that was fun. But yeah, It was a great night. Amanda got faded.
Whoops.
Faded. So, that was cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure not to do that again. But I feel okay today.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yep.
In the morning, she was like,
Fucking morning.
fucking morning, I'm doing okay. I did let you sleep for a while.
Yeah, you did. Thanks.
I never sleep very long after we drink, even though I didn't drink that much. It just doesn't allow me to sleep very long.
There's a fine line of like, if I would say if I don't drink enough, I don't sleep good. It's like, but it's literally just a toss up. Either you sleep like shit or you sleep real hard.
A little bit of this was going on last night.
Thanks. I wasn't going to share that with people today, but
She's not pregnant, but she's just preparing herself. Got to work on that throwing up.
yeah. But that's why I feel better today.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And she was impressively able to hold it all the way until we got home, which was about 14 minutes, but hitting all the, not really potholes, a bunch of topes on the way home. So different types of speed bumps. And boy, I bet that really ruffled some fellers in your belly because as soon as we pulled in, you were like, I'm going to puke. I'm gonna hop out. Hop out right now. Handle it like a champ. And then you woke up at some point during the night and went and threw up. Mm-hmm. I heard that. Yep. That was cool. Cool, Just trying to get ready to parent, guys?
Not my finest moment.
Yep. But that's okay. You'll have other time to
Happens.
redeem yourself.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I had gin, and I haven't had gin in a very long time, and they made very good tasting drinks.
Well, here's the problem. Where's my camera? Here's the problem. We started off with some shots of tequila before we went out.
A shot.
Was it a shot?
Tequila?
Yeah.
We just did the one.
We just did the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we started off with a shot of tequila. We got there. We had sangria. Then Amanda had 2 beers. Then we go over to their house, and she has...
3.
You had 4 seltzers total.
Oh.
So she had 4 seltzers. And then, I think, 2 gin drinks.
The icing on the cake there.
Somebody has always known how to party. And it's not me.
Thanks.
There are white folks, and then there are ignorant motherfuckers like you.
Great.
That was not the correct drop. I thought you were just going to say, sorry, Obama. That was, jeez, I'm going to cut that out. Anyways, yeah, so we got a big week
Way
coming.
to kick me while I'm down. No.
We got early morning stuff we got to take care of tomorrow. We're getting our IDs.
Yes, immigration appointment is tomorrow morning.
Immigration appointment. So I'm going to have to bring my brass knuckles because those motherfuckers there, even
Are
with an
ruthless.
appointment, these people are savages.
Yeah.
The people waiting in line, I mean. So have to be on top of that. That should only take about, took 5 hours last time to set the appointment. So I'm thinking maybe 2 hours, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be there around 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay.
Just lower your bar here.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we work on brown people time.
Yep.
They're like, us, black folks, we know. Same time. Same, but different.
Same, but different.
And then
And then the very next day.
the next day, my parents are coming into town. So that's always exciting.
Yep, we get to check out Costco.
Yeah, we're
in
going to check out the Costco in Cancun. Excited about that. Mm-hmm. We've got some shopping to do. We went a little bit of grocery shopping today and just picked up a few small things so we could feed ourselves for the next 2 nights until my parents get here and we run by Costco. I'm interested to see how it measures up to the Costco's in the U.S.
Yeah, I would assume they would be fairly similar. I mean, the Home Depot's fairly similar.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would imagine those big chain, the Walmart's fairly similar.
My question is, are they giving out samples?
They only do that on the weekends, so no.
Gosh. Every day is the weekend when you're Mexican. All right. So, yep, hitting Costco up. So we'll stack some stuff up. Maybe they have better prices on alcohol as far as wine. We'll see.
Yeah.
But,
I got my lashes done
Yep.
for our picture.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll. I got my hair cut for a picture. We'll talk about that stuff in the more versus less section of
Gotcha. Yep.
is it more or is it less here? Let's see what else. Oh, we've been looking at some flights because you know us, real problematic.
It's like a problem.
There's
If we don't have a trip planned, I feel like I'm missing out.
yeah,
And we just got here.
which means it's time to go.
It's time to plan something.
So where were we looking?
Straight shot to Colombia. I was like, you know what? Might as well just start going there now, getting a feel of, first of all, really decide if we want to live there next, what cities, check them all out. And there was nonstop flights.
The main reason is the cocaine here is not good. So Amanda wants to go.
I need to go to the source.
Yeah, to the source. But yeah, we're excited. Colombia's been on our list of places to visit, and it was also on our places of potential options to live. So much like we did, you know, when we went over to Europe for our honeymoon, we picked out some places that were like, you know, those would be potential places without having been there before that we might want to consider living. So now that we're a much closer, how long is that flight?
It's like 3.5 hours.
3 hours. It's like flying from AZ to Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to hop on potentially a quick little flight, head down to Medellin.
Yeah, they're like $200 most round trip.
Yeah, you get a little bit lower than that, but I can tell you where you're not flying for $200. And that is Washington to Arizona.
You got to really find those deals if that's the case. But yeah. Ugh.
So checking that out. So that should be, you know,
Excuse me,
we were looking in
Jesus.
like June because we may have some friends coming down in
May.
May.
Yeah, the cheapest ones were in May.
Yeah, we
But-
could have got them for like 150.
Yeah,
something,
but I was like, I don't know. But I might possibly have to go to Arizona the first week in May,
that's right.
depending if I have got to turn all my shit in.
Yeah, see if you still got a job.
Yeah, see if I still have a job. Scary
They're like-
times.
You're Mexican now. You can't work here anymore. You took our jobs. He took our jabs. What I did notice, and we were talking about this the other night with Natalie, was the gym. So we've been going to the gym for quite some time now, and it's nice to be back at it and have like a
routine set up
decent
again.
routine and, you know, be getting after it. But I think the Mexican chicks here only do legs, like only do quads and stuff.
Their legs are fucking fantastic. I'm very jealous and ashamed of my legs.
Everybody here is quadded up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
I don't know if they're injecting shit into their quads. They'll have nice, like, no dimples, unless they're overweight. Not overweight, but unless they're, like, real thick, 3 C's. Yeah, everyone's got very nice bodies.
So we're going to start stepping up our leg game. Also, going to get on the sauce. Get these legs huge so I can shit on these women. Make me feel bad. They're quadded up, son.
They all are.
Bunch of quadzillas in there.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, here's my skinny micro legs.
So, yeah, it doesn't help the fact that we're, like, super flat-footed and have super weak-ass calf game.
The flat feet only bothers you.
It just looks weird.
I'm not bothered by my flat feet. I embrace them.
Well, you don't have to look at you.
Huh?
I said you don't have to look at you.
Do my flat feet bother you?
They do.
Like,
So I also know that my flat feet bother me then. I don't like flat feet. I wish I had some nice arches, but, you know.
literally, I've never thought about that a day in my life.
I
And
don't
then
look
I
good in
marry you
heels.
and you talk about my flat feet.
Hey, we're one and the same. We both have flat-ass feet. Anyways, what else is going on? People always, it's so weird. So we went out and hung out by the pool for a little bit today, caught some sun. I definitely did get more red on my shoulders. But nobody here, like, really swims that much during the weekend. But motherfuckers be out there
every day.
Yeah, during the week,
Yeah.
just like getting
Chilling.
after it, hanging out, drinking, partying. Oops.
Yeah, that's true. Because there was granted, I can't see the pool from our apartment, but when I take Nina out or when we go to stores and stuff like that, I feel like during the week, there's always people out there. But then today,
Out there barbecuing, you
those
would think.
old people though were getting after it.
Yeah, there was a group of like 8 old people, 4 dudes, 4 ladies, and they were on opposite sides of the pool. Older. I don't know what they were doing, but
He's living it up.
yeah, just enjoying life, having a good ass time. Where did I click? Oh, that. Okay. Anyways, if you guys are watching this video, sorry, it's a little bit all over the place, but you know. What else? One thing that I noticed that they do out here that we were talking about when we were at the pool today that I wanted to mention on the podcast was we have a trash can, like our community trash cans are at the front of the community.
Oh, yeah.
And people here, like, put their trash bags on the hood of their cars and drive them to the dumpsters up front to throw them away.
It makes sense, but when I saw it, I was like, oh.
It's so weird. Everybody does it. It's just like, why not just like set it in the back of your car or something? But they're like, no, I'm just going to set it on the front. What if that thing falls off? Because you're hitting some of these speed bumps, these topes within the community. And I mean, they're not forgiving. So I feel like they could just throw your bag of dirty diaper trash off or something, and then you have to go and pick it up. Why not just put it in the back?
Well, maybe all of their trash leaks
That's
somehow.
ugh,
I
gross.
don't know.
All that chicken smells and stuff.
That
was pretty gross.
I don't want to think about that right now. So
Anyways, okay, so you want to get into more versus less, and then we'll get into our usual highs, lows, parenting around the world, all that good stuff, and break down our episode?
yeah.
Perfect. So I have not created a drop for this yet, so let me see if I can find a little something.
A little razzle dazzle.
Okay, well, you just let me have it right now. I need it. I need it right now.
What do you need? You need
These certain things that are cheaper in Mexico.
more or less, yeah. So what you need is a haircut, because boy, oh boy, your man just went and got a haircut this weekend.
Not a trim. He cut off all of his.
Yeah, cut off a bunch of my hair. It was getting close. I was actually able to put it in somewhat of a bun and whatnot. But it was just, I couldn't wait any longer. My head looked like, a penis when I was swimming without, when my hair was wet. It just looked weird. You guys wouldn't have seen it that much in the video because I cut those portions out when we posted it from the cenote. It was bad. So
I hope that wasn't the only reason you cut your hair.
That was not the only reason.
Underwater.
I was just tired of wearing a hat, and there was no way that I could not wear a hat with the way that my hair looked because it was just in those really bad middle stages. So went and got a haircut. Looks fantastic now.
It does.
The guy killed it. He did an amazing job, and the haircut cost me, drum roll please, $8.50. And I mean, he did a great fade, great cut. He lined up my beard and stuff.
Yeah.
$8.50.
Looking good.
It was fantastic. So I'm like
150 pesos. Yeah.
150 pesos. So what I tell him, los semanos, fin de semana, nos vamos,
See you later, or see ya.
fin de semana,
Próximo.
próximo de fin de semana.
So see you next weekend.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm a better reader than I am a speaker. But anyways, a fresh haircut.
Yeah.
Where's my camera? See, look at this. See on the side there? See that?
It looks really good.
Good fade, my friends. So that is a huge bonus about being out here, because a cut like this in the U.S. would have easily cost you about $30.
Yeah. I have no idea. Oh.
Yeah, it's not like $100 to get guys' hairs cut. But save myself a nice little chunk of money, which means what I pay for a normal cut, I can get at least 3 cuts out of. So I'll look better longer.
Solid.
Excuse me, I just burped. Now, what you don't want to do out here is, and I'm pretty sure we didn't talk about this because I remember the last podcast, is buy gas.
Oh.
Which we will be doing before we go to Cancun, because gas
We only got a quarter tank left.
is expensive.
Yes.
So they charge you by
It's like
Explain it to 'em.
California.
Explain it to them.
All right, so they charge by the liter here instead of the gallon. So it's 23 and some change pesos per liter. But there's almost 4 liters
Yeah,
in a gallon.
almost 4.
It's like 3.8 liters or something like that per gallon. So when we filled up last time, it was like empty. The gas light was on. That was the only time that we've ever filled up here in Playa. And it was like $96 or something to fill the whole tank up.
Yeah, and our car is not that big.
No, our car is like, it's 17 gallons,
Ooh, I think it's 21.
21,
Yeah.
something like that. Whatever. In Washington, I filled it up for like 58 or 64 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's literally a third more.
Good math. Good job.
Something like that.
So luckily we don't have to fill up that often around here. That was 2 weeks ago that we filled up. So, and we're still at a quarter tank, but
Yeah.
gas is a no-go out here as
Yeah.
far as the cost. Now,
Luckily, the whole city is like 15 minutes from one side to the other.
mhm.
So,
Something else that costs more is wine.
yeah.
I've noticed at the store, which is very unfortunate for Amanda because she's a big wine drinker. It's not crazy. There are some options, but as far as being in the U.S. and having that $8 bottle of wine,
8 to 15 range, you can find some real gems
Yeah.
in the U.S.
but out here, it seems like it's a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah, the bottom shelf is like 15.
Yeah, even though you did get a good one the other night.
Yeah, that was 260.
So like $17
Pesos.
or something like that.
I don't know, but that was like the bottom shelf. I took a picture of it, luckily. So, gosh.
Yeah.
And also that champagne is very hard to find.
Yeah, I haven't even seen champagne.
I saw, I don't remember, maybe it was Walmart or something like that. I saw a couple different options, but this, when your mom called me yesterday, she said she's bringing 2 bottles of champagne, and she's like, I think she looked online at Costco, and she
I'm
said,
sure she did.
she was like, the only thing I see on their website is like $80 a bottle. And I
Oh.
was like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. No. She was
Disrespectful.
looking at the La Europa
Oh, that's right.
the
That's right.
store. Yeah, because I told her about that one. But yeah, dude, champagne. And champagne's my favorite.
And I love champagne.
I love champagne.
It's running through her veins. So it's a difficult one for her. They'll be cutting that out basically of her entire diet. But what's less is definitely some certain types of alcohol and beer. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can buy beers for basically $1 for the most part. And there's a bunch of different kind of alcohols. Haven't looked at it too much as far as like liquor goes. But what I did see was that bottle of the Kraken. You guys know that dark rum, Kraken rum, with the octopus on it, the Kraken. It was like, for a $7.50, it was like $11 or something like that. And I can't tell you how much that stuff costs in the States because I don't buy it because it's not that good when it comes to what I like to drink. But I guarantee you it's $30. So
Yeah, we haven't really looked at. We did buy a bottle of tequila, but
yeah, but a bottle of tequila was like $17-$18, and
Don Ramon.
I would say it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it was pretty smooth. You could,
Yeah.
I could sip it.
we sip it
So-
and we shot it.
Yeah, so that's saying something.
Didn't make me feel like after I swallowed it.
No.
But yeah, it's definitely a chill tequila. We're going to be trying a lot of tequila now that we live out here. So, plus my dad's coming down, and my dad
moderation.
really enjoys tequila. Yeah, I'll be trying tequila while you're pregnant.
There you go.
It'll take me a year to get through a bottle.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Exactly.
last thing, here we go. Paper towel holder. So we're going to start breaking down different things that we bought or different things that we had my parents bring to us because purchasing them here or off of Amazon Mexico
I don't fucking understand
is
this
just
one.
too expensive. So you want to talk about the paper towel roll?
Yeah, so the paper towel holder that we ordered on Amazon US to have his parents bring down was like, what, $5 or $6? $5.99?
Cinco.
Something like that. To basically have the same one here, in Mexico, it was like almost $20 or something.
Yeah.
What's 500 pesos?
God,
I don't know.
So essentially,
I
like,
don't understand.
there's things here that are definitely cheaper, but there are things that are not cheaper. And
Household items are some of those, well, random household items are some of those things that I don't understand
yeah.
why they're so expensive.
But luckily for Amanda, one of those things that's not expensive and actually is a fraction of the price is, look at those beautiful eyes.
My lashes.
Lashes.
Fuck. She told me yesterday and I forget. Pestonia? Something like that. I don't know the word. I forgot it. She told me a couple times.
Yeah. Nobody understood what you said.
Eyelashes.
Anyways, that's a big deal. How much did you pay for the eyelashes down here?
I paid like $70 for a new set of classic lashes. In Arizona, they are maybe $120, but in Vancouver, they are $160
Yikes.
for a new set. And I got them, it was like 68 or something. I gave her a tip. So, holy crap, like literally a fraction of the price. And then the fills are only like $25 or $30 versus basically like $60 to get a fill, because you need to get a fill every 2 or 3 weeks. So that's why I haven't had them in such a long time, because they fucking add up.
I don't know what any of that means, but
I was very excited when I saw the prices, and it's like a super nice salon.
same place you went to get your waxing done.
Yep, they do hair, and I'm gonna probably check out their pedicures and stuff too. The pedicures, I don't think they're that much cheaper here, which is weird, but
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't know how how things are differentiated between, like, this should be more expensive and this should not be. Obviously, they're not basing their prices off of things in the U.S., but it's just like random. I feel like just super random.
yeah.
Like we talked about trash cans. It's like, why is this trash can $50? It's just a kitchen trash can. It's not. It's a plastic kitchen trash can.
Yeah, not even the stainless steel ones.
So
Yeah.
little frustrating on that front. But
But your girl's going to be looking good. So
Yep.
here we go.
and tacos for $1. So
Yeah.
what's up?
Not the ones we had today, but
The ones we had today were $1.60 a piece.
oh, were they 30
Yep.
pesos?
Yep, which is still
Oh, that's still okay. A
pretty
good deal.
cheap. We were
Okay.
eating, what was it, like goat's head or sheep's head or something like that?
I honestly don't know.
I don't remember. It was the head of something, like a goat or a sheep. I don't know which one, but it was pretty tasty. I took a picture. I'll
It
post
was
that
like
shit.
barbacoa.
Yeah, it's like barbacoa. I fucked with it. It was
Yeah.
good.
And they had little blue tortillas.
Yep. All right. Well, you ready to get into more of the parenting stuff and get this bad boy on a roll? So,
Yes.
unfortunately, I know you've been doing some pee tests lately.
Yeah, my period was like 3 days late, so I took a whole bunch of pee tests because I was like, well, maybe the move, the humidity, like fucked up all these tests or something. Because I was like, I should be getting it any day now. And then it came. We had sex, and then it came. I was like, okay,
The
thanks.
period wasn't the only thing that came, but fortunately, not yet, folks. So, don't hold your breath. We'll get there.
Yeah, well,
Just keep doing the stuff we know how to do.
which is
Never mind. Let's carry on. Man, I hate drinking soda, 1, out of a can, and 2, without ice.
yeah.
I love ice.
Drinks get warm very fast here.
They do.
Yeah.
You definitely got to have like a good tumbler out here. Okay, well, I guess it's time for Here's the Deal, man.
Here's the deal, man.
And it's time for highs and lows. Would you like me to go first while you sit there and think about your highs and lows, since you usually come up with them last minute
Yes.
like a real professional? Okay. My high of the week, I guess I got really like 2 highs. One, got my hair cut so my head doesn't look like a penis anymore, like I said before, which was, I mean, the cenote was so beautiful.
It
and you're
was.
just diving in there. I'm like, these are some really cool shots, except penis head. Looked like a mushroom or jellyfish or something. Again, not the only reason I cut it. The other reason I cut it was the combination of how big my head is, plus the beard, plus having my hair long and in a bun, makes it look like my head is 4 feet tall. And I'm not like super jacked right now. So it makes me look even skinnier than I am due to the fact that, I mean, you're over here with this tiny ass head, old shrunken head over here.
You have a small head.
And I just don't want my head to look enormous, more bigger than it already does. So I was just tired of that. And we clean enough hair up anyways.
Between me and Nina.
Yeah.
There's hair everywhere constantly.
So I would say that was one of my highs. The other high was, the fact that we're shooting video.
Yay.
And
Then
I'm
we got
fucking the
this-
video up.
And then we got this all. Finally, a place we don't have to break it down.
When we're done with the podcast, I'm just going to move this shit out of the way, like this mic out of my face. I'm going to put my lights
Boom.
back in the spots that they're supposed to be,
Done.
and we'll be good to go.
There we go.
So that would be my highs of the week.
Nice.
My lows of the week, I would say, are water being shut off.
Oh, yes.
We didn't talk about that because it didn't happen before we did the last podcast, right? Because we moved in and we did the podcast like the next day, essentially.
Yeah, because we went to the cenote on Sunday, and we did the podcast that night, and it was Monday, basically, we realized that the water was shut off.
Yeah, because we went and hit the gym, and we came back all sweaty, and we're like, oh, cool, quick shower, and no water. What happened? They like didn't pay the bill
Yeah,
when
the
we were
owners
transferring between old renters and us?
Yeah, I don't even know how. So the people that like our property management people that live in our neighborhood, they don't speak any English at all. Like the girl kind of speaks a couple words here and there, but apparently they're not a couple. Anyways, so it's kind of hard to like get real clear story on what happened. But it's over. It doesn't really matter. But essentially, he said the owners forgot to pay the water bill.
So we like got in the shower. So the water was like barely coming out of the shower. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just hop in real quick and
Do a
see if we
bird
can
bath.
like,
Or something like
wash our asses real quick so we don't have to stink for the rest of the day. And you get in, Amanda got in and she got like a little bit of a wash on, and then I got in. It's not like we could get in together. We would just both be standing there naked because there was no water coming out. And the water literally stopped when I was in there. So she had to bring me like cups of water.
Yeah, because it wouldn't come out of the shower, but like the
It was
bathroom,
coming out of the sink or the
yeah,
bathroom just a
sink,
little bit.
just a little bit. So I sat there with a cup for like 45 seconds to get a little bit of water in there, so you could pour. You put soap all over your body too.
Yeah, really fun. But I mean, what was I going to do? Just wash? That's like getting shit on your hand and then just saying, oh, cool, I can just run this under water and it's going to be clean. It's not.
Yeah.
I had to put soap on my balls and in my ass so I didn't smell like
Yeah,
death the rest of the day. So,
appreciate it.
made it happen. But, yeah, I would say that was my low because it ended up being off for like.
Yeah, so
least
what had happened
days,
was
essentially.
he realized that the water was shut off, and then so he was like, okay, we paid the bill, just wait for the water to turn back on. Well, the water never came back. And so even though the city put the water back on, apparently, because we all have tanks on the top of the unit, so apparently when the tank emptied, once it was shut off from the bill, the pump got air in it because the tank was empty, and then it fried the pump. So even though we had the water, we couldn't even use it. Like, it was coming out so slow, and I was messaging him on WhatsApp like, hey, the water's still like not on, like we can't take a shower. And he's like, are you sure? Like,
No, man, I'm just fucking with you.
He's like, it's probably like calcium buildup in the faucet. I'm like, no, like, you don't understand, we can't use anything. Like, And so he was like, it'll take me 10 minutes. Do you want me to come over right now? And I'm like, no, it's 9:30 at night. We're going to bed. Just come over tomorrow. And so he went upstairs finally and was like, okay, yeah, you're right. We need to have a technician come out.
There's an issue.
At like around 5 p.m. So it was still another day that we didn't have water. And then it finally got fixed at like 7 at night. So it was like a couple days of not being able to like shower.
Hashtag Mexico life. What's up?
I was like, oh, great. We've just been in here for a couple days.
So there's been some cool stuff going on. All right. So what about your highs and lows? We need to burn through some of this. We're at minute number 40.
Oh,
We're
shit.
dragging ass.
Yeah. I'll say
Too much great conversation.
my highs, or my high. I'm really glad that I'm able to afford to get my lashes done again. It's something that it makes me feel better about myself. I like the way that I look.
I feel that. There's nothing like a fresh haircut. You're just like, oh, man, look at you, attractive again.
Yeah, like I woke up this morning and I was
Confidence.
like, what I did last night was gross, but I look fucking fantastic.
But check out these ones. Don't you want to kiss me, babe?
Still look good.
You didn't even brush your teeth.
I did,
Thank you.
I think.
She thinks, yeah.
I don't know about after the second time. Definitely after the first time.
Okay. Okay,
Anyways.
so that was high.
Yeah, and I will say my low. It made me a little sad that their dog didn't like us last night.
Yeah, that was super
I've
weird.
never had a dog not like me.
Same here. Not for an extended period of time. Like I could get a dog not liking me right off
Like,
the bat, and then they
yeah.
get to like they're around me for an hour or so, and they're like, oh, "Okay, this guy's cool." Especially with the other dog being so friendly to us.
We were over there for like 5 hours, and I couldn't even make eye contact with their dog. Like anytime I'd go up to the kitchen, you would just bark at me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That made me a little sad because I'm like, "Why don't you like me?"
Yeah, that was sad, but fuck that dog. Something's wrong with him. Her, yeah. Because I'm telling you, all dogs like us.
I know, and that was one thing that attracted me to you was your love for los perros.
Los perros. Doggies love me. Cats love me. All animals love me. I hate birds, though.
Oh my god, that
El
bird at the
gato, el
pool
gato.
was looking so fucking psycho. There was a
Yeah.
bird. Well, the birds were like also getting in the pool, but this fucking bird was just like
With his mouth open, like one of
it
those
was like
small crow
creepy.
things. It's
It
very
was really
creepy.
creepy.
Okay,
It's weird.
so let's get into El Gato. El Gato.
It's time for that super sweet overseas parenting fact of the week.
Overseas parenting fact of the week. Let's see what I got here for you.
I sent you something on Instagram.
I didn't get it.
Okay.
Parenting around the world. Many of us are always wondering if our children are hungry. Scratching my nose. Often fixing them a meal before we sit down for dinner. This is not the case with families in France or South Korea. In these countries, people believe that eating is a social experience that must be enjoyed with the family. So parents generally don't just give in to their children's hunger tantrums and let them wait for their families to join them. They are also encouraged to eat what everyone else does. No mac and cheese for you, Timmy, you fucking asshole. Instead of a kid-friendly option. Parents say that children learn to avoid mid-meal snacks, and this makes them mindful eaters. Children are also urged to savor their food instead of having hurried meals. Now, I can really see that working for Asian people because you don't see a ton of fat Asian people. French people, I think they're only fat or skinny. So, I don't know if if that's really helping them with, being mindful eaters. But we were in France. I didn't see a ton of fat people.
I'm like, I don't think I saw any fat people. At least
So-
not that I remember.
Maybe what they're doing is working. But no snacking, that would have been a no for me, dog, growing up. Like, I needed a snack as a child. Maybe that's why those people aren't that big. I mean, like,
Maybe they're in a caloric
yeah,
deficit.
they're like, I'm always fasting. So that sucks.
Snackies. I do like the idea of one eating together. We always eat together. I don't remember it necessarily as a child though. Like I don't have memories that far back. But I also do like the concept of, no, you're going to eat what I make for everyone else. Now that was kind of like my mom's thing, was like, okay, if you're not going to eat it, then you're just not going to eat tonight.
That's kind of like what they were talking about on the episode of the parent test. And episode 2 was like them doing another set of tests before they end up voting and all that stuff. And one of them was taking kids to eat at a nicer restaurant and try different foods, right? Or see if they will try different foods. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But we have a Ask the Listeners portion of this. So I sent out a little question on Instagram before the podcast, and I wanted to know what age, if any, you know what, let me get my camera. What age, if any, is it okay for your kid to start cursing? Now, you want to go ahead and answer that question in your household?
I don't think I cursed in front of my parents. Gosh, mid-20s?
Mid-20s, huh?
Well, in front of them.
Wow.
I started cussing maybe maybe sophomore year of high school, but just not in the house. I wouldn't dare say a curse word in front of my mom.
Yeah, that seems pretty fitting to your house.
That's kind of what I was talking about last night. Like, I didn't say dang. I didn't say damn. I didn't say Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I didn't say any of those things in front of my mom. Now I cuss in front of her all the time, but she's,
Do you?
I think I do.
Do you?
I think I do.
So let's hear a couple of the answers. We've got from, I guess I won't name the people, but Michael Hunter said 16 is an appropriate age for Javi to start cussing. Have a girl that said teens. Have another one that said when they're out of the house at 18 years old.
Okay, that's fair.
Got another one that says when they're moved out of the house. And then Kat said the age where they can start paying their own damn bills.
There you go. So 18.
Yep. So my family told me, I guess I have a little bit different experience with this. I remember specifically my dad having a conversation with me because he knew you'd cuss around our friends and stuff. Like when you're with your friends, you're saying fucking whatever. But he had a conversation with me telling me basically like at, I think, 13 years old, hey, you can say whatever you want, but it has to be at the appropriate time. Which was, for me, like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the appropriate time is, man. When am I supposed to drop the F-bomb? Come on, how is that supposed to be appropriate? So that was one of those things where I didn't cuss around them for a while again because I didn't know if it was appropriate.
You're like, am I going to get in trouble
Yeah.
because my version of appropriate time is not matching with your version of an appropriate time?
Exactly.
It's very open for debate.
So, I mean, they were always the type of parents that gave my sister and I, a lot of...
Did they cuss in front of you?
From what I can recall. My parents, my mom's from Detroit.
I know, your mom.
Cuss like a sailor. And, I think my dad's less with the cursing than my mom is, but it was definitely there.
I know. I think it's funny because, like, Papa Bear obviously cusses in front of us now, but he didn't do that when I was younger.
Yeah, and he also doesn't really like cursing in front of your mom, which...
We just respect her, like her wishes. She doesn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, if that's one of those things that you don't like, I can respect that.
Yeah.
But just because she's a lady, I'm like, hey.
No, my mom is Southern Baptist and grew up Southern Baptist and is just a very nice lady.
That she is.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it's time for?
What's up?
What's that? I love the 90s. I've got three things here that I want to talk about for I love the 90s.
Okay.
First one, Clueless. Did you watch Clueless?
Of course I didn't. You should already know that answer.
You didn't watch Clueless?
Nope. I did not. I just know it's the girl with the plaid skirt or something. Mm-hmm. Besides that, I don't know.
My sister was really big into Clueless when growing up. I think the black girl's name on there was Samantha. Very relatable. So, yeah, that was really big for her. I don't know why I tossed that in here because obviously you didn't watch any shows growing up. Sometimes you're so difficult to like
do a
podcast with.
Well, I watched The Friends. The Friends.
The Friends.
The Friends.
Yes,
Friends.
Of course you watch Friends. That was probably a family sit-down thing. You guys all watched that together?
At dinner, we watched it. It was on while we were eating
Wow.
dinner.
We had sports on while we were eating dinner, like real people watching Friends in the background.
We had a little TV, like a little 13-inch TV on top of the fridge, and I think it was on a Lazy Susan, so we would just turn it whether we were making dinner or eating dinner.
I mean, I can't hate. That's pretty cool. Always got to have the TV. The second one, you got to know about this. Keenan and Kel. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, Good Burger was a
Welcome
classic
to Good Burger,
hit.
home of the Good Burger, can't take your order.
And then All That, when they were part of All That, is all that is all that. It was Amanda Bynes and all those freaking people.
Amanda, please.
Amanda show.
Oh my God, my whole life people have done that to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because my name's Amanda.
That's right.
Or the Amanda, please, or whatever, when she's reading the letters or whatever.
She used to do that thing where she would tuck her lip. My mom would always do that. Be like, man. Oh, my God.
I forgot about
So many classics. And then the last one was, I feel like everything in the 90s was just cheap, like compared to now. So, for example, I was looking through some stuff, and this guy had found a perfectly preserved Taco Bell receipt from 99. Oh. And he got a nachos, a taco, a burrito, and a Pepsi for like $3.50. So the burrito was 99 cents. The taco was 69. Those tacos are like $1.75 now for like a soft taco.
A soft taco. Man.
Nachos 69, Pepsi 89 cents.
That's crazy.
Like, you could go to Taco Bell now. I really love the Mexican pizza, and I sent them a strongly worded letter when they took it away, which is why they brought it back.
There you go.
I went to Taco Bell and I get the Mexican pizza, and that thing is like $6. I'm like, look at the amount of food this is.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah, I know. Another, like, I'm not going to say I didn't consider divorcing you when you had your first Mexican pizza and you were like, well, what is this? I'm like, you fucking.
I'm like,
I love the Mexican pizza. How dare you?
I know.
It's my favorite. What's your favorite thing at Taco Bell?
I
All
really
right,
like
moving
their
on.
shredded chicken burrito.
Shredded chicken burrito. Okay. I'll give you that. Which one? There's a bunch of them. Does it have rice in it?
I think so.
Okay. Any beans? We're eating a lot of rice and beans.
Yeah, we have been eating a lot of rice and beans.
If
and
you see us
somehow
and we blow up to 350, it's just latency onset of the rice and beans because you seem to be losing weight.
Yeah, I actually feel less bloated. I feel like my bottom stomach fat might be going down. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like I'm blowing ass either after eating. Like, you would think, oh, they're in Mexico. They're, you eat and then you're just dying in the bathroom. I haven't had really any issues.
No, I haven't had any issues.
And we've eaten at some skeptical places.
There's a lot of carts out here that I'm sure don't have the A stamp on them.
Everybody's touching the food with their hands.
Yeah.
But, either we've acclimated or...
I haven't came across one
just
with
ain't
dirty enough
bitches
hands yet.
Yeah, right? Guy didn't scratch his balls enough times.
Everyone's balls are very sweaty out here.
Yeah, my balls is hot. Good thing Derek Lewis doesn't live out here. Well, he lives in Houston, so it's the same thing.
Same, but different, yeah.
Okay. So we're coming up to the 55-minute mark. I think it is time to jump into the parent test.
The parent test, episode 2.
Episode 2. So you guys, if you remember from last week, we talked about the first 4 parenting styles, which was routine, new age, intensive, and natural. The second episode still focuses on those same 4, and they end up moving 3 of those couples on to the next round and getting rid of one of those couples.
Yeah. So there was 2 tests, I guess, per episode. Excuse me, gosh, the carbonation on there. Okay, so the first one, we kind of talked about this briefly, but it was, it's called fine dining. So it's basically taking the children to a restaurant that you would probably never normally go to.
With your kids.
With your kids. So it's, the concept of this test is to see how your children and your parenting style can handle how you embrace new experiences and maybe coach the children to try something new, and also how you deal with other people judging you, because they're going to places where you're expected to maybe dress a certain way and act a certain way, behave, it's not like a kid-friendly place.
Yeah, because that's a big thing, is like what other people think. Being a parent, and I imagine you become like less worried about that shit as you're a parent for longer and longer. But I've talked to a lot of people that are like, I don't want to be the person that people are looking at because their kid is
throwing it, laying down on the floor, and you can't get them to go anywhere.
So this was an interesting one because it's a big deal. And granted, again, most people probably aren't bringing their kids to finer dining establishments, but could happen. So.
Yeah. So the first one was intensive, and this one I feel like they're kind of fancy people to begin with.
They are fancy people. This is the Chinese couple.
Yeah.
With the kind of, they call it intensive, strict style, overachieving 6-year-old. Yeah. So they just have the one daughter.
Yeah, it's just the only child. So on that one, they told her, you have to try one bite of everything. If you don't like it, then that's that. But you at least got to try one bite.
Now, I'm not big on their style of parenting, but I am big on that.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid rule to have. How do you know you're not going to like it if you don't try it? Unless the smell is just so repulsive to you, then
Unless
that's also
it's durian. They're like, try this durian. I'm like, I'm not eating that durian. That's a dead nutsack. I'm not eating that. But that plays a perfect example with the new age family when they go to their thing. Those kids wouldn't have known if they wouldn't have tried it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he was kind of leading into the new age. So they said that they don't force, but they encourage their children to try new things. So initially the daughter was like, I don't want to eat this. And he's
they brought out a full fish.
Yeah, well,
with a head on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And everything, which is kind of weird to think about if you're a kid. Oh man, I'm eating this fish.
Full fish.
I could see its eyes and its face and everything.
Yeah. But eventually, so one daughter was trying everything, and she's like, oh my God, this is really good. And that kind of encouraged the other kids to start trying stuff. They have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. So they didn't necessarily like everything, but I think for the most part, they tried everything, and then they really liked a lot of it. And then they were kind of playing with a fish head. But they said they go out to dinner all the time. So they probably already had kind of certain expectations before this whole show came about anyways.
Mm-hmm. And they had an interesting way of the new age style. They're very open-minded, very appreciative, very family oriented. Mm-hmm. And their religious views are kind of interesting. So what they did after they ate the fish was he took the head and he's like, all right, everybody give the fish a kiss on the mouth for, thanking it for its, nutritional value and everything. And Not that that's weird. I think that was cool, but all the kids did it.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was
Turning
funny.
kind of into a little game.
Yeah.
But then another parent on there kind of brought that up because she's Muslim and he's Christian. And so they're kind of like, it goes back into the religious cores of like being thankful of things that you have and stuff like that. So they're kind of a mix of new and old traditions. So that one I feel went pretty well. And then the natural parents.
Yes. So the natural parents have, did they bring all the kids?
So there's 3 or 4.
I think there's 3. Gosh.
So the 2 daughters and then the baby. And I thought they had a son
Yeah, I
too.
thought they had a son too.
Okay,
yeah, they do. So they have 4. Yeah. All under like 6.
Yeah, that's gotta be a handful. It's something that so the girls didn't want to try anything. And one girl didn't like the smell of anything. So she actually threw up in the bathroom and she was like, I want to go home. But the thing is, so they did a lot of like seafood stuff, but they live on a farm. So they've never experienced seafood. Like they brought mussels out in the shell and she was like, what's that, Daddy? And he's like, I actually don't know.
Yeah. He didn't even know what mussels were.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like, hey, why don't you just try it? And they're like, no. And then the daughters were like, kind of like being dramatic on the chairs and stuff like that. And they mentioned that like, he's like, I don't care if my daughter didn't eat this stuff. I felt bad that I was disrupting, my family was disrupting the other people around me. And I feel like that's kind of where it gets a little, finicky on how people view you. But something that the mom said that I thought was good, and I think it's something that my mom also taught to us. She said, like, remember how you act in nice places? Like setting expectations of like, hey, this is a nice place, you need to act a certain way. So she was like, hey, remember how you act like in certain places, or nice places, whatever she said, word for word. But I liked that rule. Not necessarily like it did anything. The kids didn't really change much.
It's gotta be so hard with kids that are like 4, 5,
especially with multiples.
Yeah,
because if one starts acting out, they're like, "Why do I have to be good when this one's acting crazy?"
Yeah, and that was kind of the weird thing about this show. Like, there were people who have multiple kids, and they're doing the same thing as people with one kid, and like you said, seeing your brothers or sisters being rambunctious or, misbehaving or not paying attention or listening is more reason for you to like act a little crazy as well. But if you're an only child over here, it's like, oh shit, all the focus and everything is on me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I really like how they interact with their children though. Like the dad is always very comforting.
Oh yeah.
And very like, just the way that they speak to their children is very calm and relaxed, and like can imagine them ever yelling at their kids. Like I just feel like as parents, they're good parents.
Yeah, they definitely seem like good, wholesome. I mean, again, they're farm people.
Yeah.
So you feel that like just warm, try hard family, and they were a family that lost a child at 39 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they said it in the show, like they really value
their time together.
Yeah, their time with their kids because they missed out.
Yeah. And then the last one was the routine.
Which was the gay couple, the dads.
Yeah, and the kids tried some of the stuff, but one of the kids wasn't really handling it, and he kind of wanted to go, but the other one was like, look, I'm eating raw fish.
Yeah, because didn't they give them like sushi or something? Or
yeah, sashimi.
Sashimi. Crazy how some of these kids got certain things.
Yeah, but they did try some of it, and so.
I remember not liking sushi until I was like, because my parents and my sister used to eat it all the time when we were younger, and I didn't like it. And then something in my teens just kind of switched. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing.
I had sushi for the first time after I graduated high school.
Yeah, when you were in...
when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
But then I didn't eat it again because I moved to Michigan after that. And then...
No good sushi in Michigan? Black people out there cooking it up?
There's a lot of Arabic.
Mm.
So that was good.
That's right. That's right. That
Good.
is a place that they congregate.
Yeah, but I don't think I had sushi again, like really, until my early 20s. Like, and then it
Jeez.
was just like I couldn't get enough of it.
Sushi all the time.
Yeah, sushi all the time. Sushi all the time. Sushi all the time.
Sushi all the time.
But yeah, so as far as that challenge, God, kids are so unpredictable though. Like, I feel like you could have any parenting style in the world, unless you're like the intensive and just like,
No, you're going to eat that shit.
no, don't make me act a fool when we leave here. Like,
And where do you think that starts with, like, getting your kids to try, getting your kids to try new things? Like, I think you really got to put that on them as a baby, just putting little bits of things in their mouth, as they...
that could be dangerous when they start choking on shit.
Well, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
doing certain things, but I mean, you could blend anything into baby food.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, as far like going out to different kinds of restaurants, because I can say that my mom definitely does not like different foods.
Yeah,
My
that's the thing.
parents are just a very American food, so I didn't.
Ketchup, ranch.
Yeah, so I didn't get exposed to a lot of different kinds of food until I went and did it on my own. I mean, obviously, my aunt taking me to all those countries was a great door. Well, we did get Chinese food. Every year on our
Chinese food is like the worst possible.
but there's a really good place now to eat that we like.
Chinese food is basically, in the U.S., especially places where we live, Chinese food is essentially that equivalent. I've had Chinese food in China.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean,
way better, way different.
Yeah, definitely. I actually just came on my memories of the dumplings when I was on my way back, and I went to Shanghai and just kind of fucking putzed around for like 14 hours.
So I've been to Shanghai. God, I want to go back to China. There's so many cool places in China.
But yeah, so I think that could be something. Obviously, we love to travel and love all different kinds of food. So I think that won't necessarily be.
And I think if your kids see you doing it, that it's so much about seeing and repeating. Like,
I think that was a big thing on these challenges too, because they were like, "Look, I'm eating it. It's good. You're gonna like it." And some of them were like, "Mm-mm." Mm-hmm. And then you're like, "Well, I guess okay."
That's where you have
You're
the rule of
missing out.
you have to try it.
And try it by, then do you want to move on to the next?
Yeah.
So this one, we don't have to get into super crazy. This one's going to go by fairly fast. However, it does open a very large discussion of a very serious topic. So this one's stranger danger.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about this more another time, just specifically, because this one was. They did a couple things like this throughout the show.
Yeah. So in each round of parents, they do four tests, essentially. 2 tests per episode. It's 3 kind of random tests and then 1 scary one, basically. So this one's stranger danger. So basically on this test, what they did is they acted like the parents were not around, and the show hired someone to act as a stranger knocking on the door and like staying there with the gas company or whatever, and seeing if the child would, 1, open the door, and then 2, let this stranger inside their home when their parents are, quote, not home or not available. Only 1 family group passed this test, and I think that this is scary. But this is the whole point of what this show is doing, and this is the whole point of this particular test, is they're showing that,
what styles best prepare kids for the world. And again, each style has certain things that they excel in, but on this, the only family that passed the test was the new age parents. And every parent said that they told their kids that, hey, we don't answer the door for strangers. And they're like, we've stressed this plenty of times, so on and so forth. But with the new age ones, all the kids were sitting on the couch when
They were right there.
the guy, the couch is like literally right next to the front door almost. The gas guy comes, he knocks on the door, and they're just like, they don't even
Flinch. They didn't bat an eye.
They're just there. They're sitting there. He's knocking for like what seems like a
Aggressively,
couple of minutes. Yeah.
like-
And then one of the girls gets up and the son goes like, don't open it or don't answer the door. And she's like, I'm not. And
Yeah, she's kind of walked around. She's like looking
where,
for her dad. Like,
where
what
are
the
my
fuck?
parents at? And then so they passed the test, but they said like, hey, our kids know. Like it's a hard, fast rule.
Yeah.
You don't open the door for anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody.
They called their kid door alarms.
Yeah.
Essentially, like they said, the rule is if the door knocks, you come and get me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so they were like, I had no doubt at all that my children were not going to open the door. But they didn't even like go find the parents. They just like literally,
They're like, fuck
they
this
just
guy.
fucking sat there. And then the girl finally was like, dude, fucking like, where's my dad?
Well, I think the thought was like, Dad's got to hear this. Why is he
Yeah.
not coming to the door? Like
Yeah.
somebody should be coming to the door to
Yeah.
get this. But yeah, everybody else failed.
Yeah, So the intensive one, I don't like how they set that actor up because she said, "We detected a gas leak inside your house. I need to come check it." That could be a little tricky for a child, especially a 6-year-old. Like, hey, am I in danger? You know, something like that. But
Yeah, one at 6 years old, she probably doesn't know what a gas leak is. But again,
she was pretty smart.
she was really smart. But I think again, you still teach your kids because that's the thing. They're going to try and tell you whatever seems the most
Believable.
most realistic to get in and get in your house and get you. So the idea is like, hey, you don't answer the door. She shouldn't even have an opportunity to tell you that there's a gas leak because you don't answer the door for anybody.
Yeah.
Not for cops, not for anybody. You come and get us, and if we're not home, you don't answer.
Yeah. That was, I think I remember my parents saying that too, like even for cops, like,
Yeah.
because
I don't give
people
a
can
fuck. Yep.
pretend to be cops.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah. The gay couple did not want their video shown.
Yeah, they got really emotional about the whole
This test in general and playing the video back. He didn't,
because their kids didn't pass.
their kids didn't pass. And
And
he
he just got really upset. Like, man, it's crazy to think how easily this can happen. And I don't need to, we don't need to relive this.
it.
I don't need to show America, my
My
kid's
kid-
failing this test. Like
Yeah.
we understand that something needs to change here.
Yeah. And then their kids opened the door, but they even admitted, like, we live where we live because we don't want to teach our children about this. Like, we tell them, be nice to everyone that you meet and, be friendly. So she was like, we honestly haven't really talked about really stranger danger because we live in a small town where we know everybody. And the guy was straight up like, that's even
And
worse.
that's the problem
That's even
is the
worse.
people who are usually stealing your children or whatever it may be are people
Yeah.
because
And they
they're
talked about
easy to get. Like that's what it is. It's harder to be like, oh, this is a stranger. I know to stay away from strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Ken. I know Ken. He's our fucking uncle. Like,
Yeah, and they do that in another test in
Yeah.
another episode, so we'll get into that too. But I think it's so important because we always like, don't open the door, don't look, don't let them know that you're
yeah.
inside. Like,
So I highly suggest to people that have kids, if just after watching this, and of course, we're not giving you advice. We're just telling you what we would do and what we've learned from the show. But I would have that conversation with them multiple times.
you have to have multiple
Like-
times because think about how hard-headed.
Put them through tests, kind of like they did there. Like, have your best friend come over and knock on the door when you're home or when you're not home and find out if the kids open it for them. Like, I would do that to my kids because I want to know.
Are you going to do the right thing?
I want a real situation here that's not a real situation, just like they were doing in this, because nothing's going to be worse than having your kid taken.
Yeah, so they said that 2,300 kids go missing every single day in America, which
It's
is
just
insane. Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very scary stuff. But You got anything else before we wrap this up?
They just made a quick comment when they were going through the rounds. So the one family that they did not have move on was the routine. And
Yes.
they said that even though there's routine, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is the kind of like the boundary of like, yeah, their kid slapped them. They're like, but that's kind of what another parent said. Like, he's like, kids do things that don't make any sense. Like that, you know, it's what happened after that and before that it really matters. Like, was he aware that he did something? So you can't really base everything off of that. But they were just kind of saying that, yeah, you may do the same thing at every time, you know, every time of the day or whatever. But they were like eating cake for breakfast, and a lot of the families were like, "Bro, that's not a good idea." Like, and they're like, "Well, at least they eat something." And some, you know, some of the more strict people were like, "You know, that's a good idea." But what a comment that they made about the natural family, which did move on to the next, but they said that they live in a world that everyone wants to live in, but it's not preparing them for the real world. So I thought that was like kind of interesting, and yeah, true. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, there's.
So like, we all want to live in this world over
We
here
all want
because
to
there's
not
no
be worried and
yeah.
know everybody, but
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
well, it's been a good podcast. Another somewhat long one for you guys, but we told you they're going to get a little bit longer now with
The show.
the breakdown of the show.
Sorry,
so
guys.
This one's only about an hour and 16 minutes, so
Oh, damn.
not as long as last episode.
Yeah.
But if I keep rambling, it will be. So, good job, baby. I love you.
Love you.
Happy Monday, everybody. If this is when you're listening to it, we got a big week ahead of
Go
us.
kill the wheat. You could do it.
Get after it. And talk to your kids about those scary things,
Stranger danger.
because it's a real problem.
That's a real problem. 2,300 times a month. I mean, a year. Wait, a month. A
A
day.
day.
2,300
A
times
day.
a day. A problem.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So we don't want to be dealing with that, folks.
Nope.
Anyways, until next time, it's been the Trying to Parent podcast. We up out of here.
Dead ass.
Peace.